Why did the authors of the New Testament, including Paul, not transliterate the divine name YHWH into Yahweh, like some modern translators do? The decision by the authors of the New Testament, including Paul, not to transliterate the divine name YHWH as Yahweh involves several historical and cultural factors. Understanding these considerations provides insight into the linguistic and theological context of the time. Firstly, the New Testament authors were heavily influenced by the Septuagint, the Greek translation of the Hebrew scriptures created in the centuries before Christ. In the Septuagint, the divine name YHWH is consistently rendered as Kyrios, meaning Lord in Greek. This translation choice reflects a broader tradition within Hellenistic Judaism, where the sacredness of the divine name was maintained by substituting it with Kyrios or Adonai, meaning Lord in Hebrew, during readings. This practice was rooted in Jewish reverence for the divine name. By the time of the Second Temple period, there was a strong cultural and religious tendency to avoid pronouncing the name YHWH altogether due to its perceived holiness. This led to the use of substitutes like Adonai in spoken language and religious rituals. The New Testament writers, many of whom were Jewish or deeply familiar with Jewish traditions, naturally continued this practice in their writings. Moreover, the New Testament authors were writing in a Greco-Roman world where their primary audience included both Jews and Gentiles. Using Kyrios provided a bridge between Jewish and non-Jewish believers, offering a term that was understandable and respectful within both communities. The term Kyrios was already widely recognized as a title of authority and divinity, making it an appropriate choice for referring to God in a way that resonated across cultural boundaries. The modern transliteration Yahweh represents an attempt by scholars to approximate the original pronunciation of the Tetragrammaton, but certainty about the exact pronunciation has been lost over time. This uncertainty stems from the ancient Hebrew script, which originally consisted only of consonants. Vowels were not added until much later, and by that time, the original vocalization had already become a matter of speculation. Thus, the decision not to use Yahweh in the New Testament text is reflective of the linguistic, cultural, and theological context of its authors. They opted for a term that honored Jewish tradition, communicated effectively with their diverse audience, and aligned with the established practices of the time. This careful consideration highlights the complexity and sensitivity involved in conveying divine concepts across different languages and cultures.